I started as an individual, and it was just kind of accidental. My daughter gave me the idea, and my mother and I just started going to grocery stores and asking if we could pick up their flowers. A lot of other people do it as a group. Maybe their church or their scout group or their service organization. They contact funeral homes and they ask the funeral director, what do you do with your flowers after memorial service? Or they ask brides to please donate their flowers after a special event. So there's so many different ways to do it, and there are no right or wrong ways. Just whatever way you can procure flowers that are free, that won't go to waste because you're taking them to nursing homes and hospitals and shelters, just run with it and do it your way. The way I show appreciation to the stores that donate, and I really do appreciate them, is a few times a year I go to Costco or a store like that and I order a big sheet cake for each one, a sheet cake that serves about 48 people. And the sheet cake usually says something like, your beautiful flowers bloom joy for so many people, or your beautiful flowers chase the winter blues away for seniors. So I share a cake and I share pictures and just telling them every day where the flowers are going and how much the people will appreciate them. I think a lot of brides probably feel guilty that they spend so much money on flowers and centerpieces, and maybe they give some away after the reception, but I would say to a bride, a couple of weeks before your wedding reception, contact the nursing home and tell them the date that you're getting married and say, would you like me to bring, or actually designate somebody else to bring your flowers over on the particular day. And I think brides will feel so happy that their flowers are getting a second chance to make other people happy. So it's a lot of money to spend on flowers for one day, but actually when the bride gives them to people in nursing homes, they'll have another week or two of happiness. Retail stores donate their extra flowers for a couple of reasons. They like to be good stewards in the community and help their customers by doing good. What we're talking about here are not asking for donations for a special event. We're asking for donations of their day-old flowers, their surplus flowers, their overstock flowers, and those are flowers that if they stay on the shelf a little too long or close to the expiration date, they're a little bit wilted and they're not of quality that they can sell them. So stores donate their slightly imperfect flowers to me and to other people because they have new shipments coming in every day from Latin America, from Europe, from their growers in Florida, and they need that valuable shelf space because their customers aren't going to buy anything that isn't of perfect quality. If they're not perfect, the customers will stop going to that store. So they give their flowers to us so that we can pass them along to bring joy and so that they have space for the new flowers coming in. Some of the reasons that stores have surplus is that for a particular holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Easter, Mother's Day, they order lots and lots of flowers. They don't want to run short. And so usually the day after a holiday, if they haven't sold out, that's a big floral bounty for me. Another time that I receive a lot of flowers from stores is if the weather's bad the day or two before. They have a lot of surplus flowers because their customers aren't coming in to shop because of the weather, rain, snow, sleet, whatever it is. And because the customers haven't purchased their flowers, they have a lot of surplus that they have in boxes and bags that they're happy for me to take. Some of the places that you can find volunteers to be helping you with the Happy Flower Day project is right in your own neighborhood. If you live in a development of young mothers, maybe this is a project you want to do one day a week with your kids, with your neighborhood moms or dads. It's a great thing to do because you're teaching children kindness, and we all know that if you raise kids to be kind when they're little, to be kind, caring adults. Some of the other places that you can find volunteers are through your church, through your school. Maybe the church has a CYO group or a youth group or a mitzvah organization. Just look around your neighborhood. Just let everybody know this is what you're wanting to do. There may be some empty nesters or some retired people. So you'll find when you tell people that you're picking up flowers and taking them to nursing homes, a lot of people will want to come on board with you and flower sunshine and happiness throughout the day. I think the best way to approach as a church with the classroom is have a planning meeting of people that may want to volunteer and set up some committees or designate some volunteers. You want one volunteer to call the different stores and ask if you can pick up flowers. You want someone else to call the nursing homes and speak to an activity director and plan a particular day that you can bring the flowers. You want to ask everybody to bring scissors and ribbons and little gift cards to the classroom. And I think what I would do is just start out one day a week. Let everybody know if they're having a special event over the weekend that you'd like the flowers to be dropped off on Monday morning. Have lots of vases and containers, mugs, but you don't want mugs that have a logo on them. And then have the committee that's going to rearrange the flowers, have them all come on Monday. And then you have it set up with a particular nursing home or two that on Monday afternoon, your volunteers will be delivering flowers to their particular nursing home. So start small, and then if it goes well, maybe add a Thursday. But you don't want to get over your head with picking up flowers and too many volunteers. Happy day to all. It's a great idea for you to do in your church classroom. When you really think about it, think of all the money people spend for flowers, centerpieces, for church services for your wedding, then for your reception, and the nosegays and the bridal bouquets and the bar mitzvahs and the retirement dinners. You can ask a DJ because the DJ usually has the contact for the event. You can ask a party planner or an event planner because brides are paying them to plan the whole event. So just think about anybody in your contact or your social media list and just let everybody know that are party planners, DJs, people that are having a special event, that when the event is over, you'd like to know and then make arrangements to pick the flowers up. But you don't want everybody's flowers. There may be centerpieces that are just too hard for you to carry out to your car. Then you have to disassemble them and rearrange them. So when you do ask somebody for what kind of flowers they'll have after the event, ask these questions. The name, the address of the event, what time the event starts, what time it's over, whether you come in the back door, the front door, and then you definitely want to ask them what kinds of flowers they have to donate. Ask them if the containers or the vases are included, and then you and maybe a friend arrange to pick them up at the time. Maybe they'll say 20 minutes before the event is over. But the idea is you don't want to waste the flowers, but then again, you don't want to have too many flowers that you won't be able to use. So just take what you need and leave the extras behind. I think the reason I drive 45 minutes each way every day, and actually it's a lot more. Today I drove 16 miles to store number 1. Now I'm driving to Philadelphia, which is another 20 miles. And I guess on a day like today, I'll pick up 250 beautiful bouquets. And the reason I love doing it is I watch the news and I see there's so much sadness for families, for individuals. And as long as I'm able, I'm 68, I have 4 children and grandchildren, so I have an active life. But I want my kids not to have to worry about me, that mom has a project, that mom's busy. And so for me, it's just part of my volunteer life. It's just so exciting to me to give flowers to somebody and then they tell me, oh, my son has a terminal illness, or my pet just died, or my sister has cancer. And at the end of the day, I come home and I say, that's why I delivered the flowers. There are some days that I wake up and it's rainy or snowy or gloomy, and I think, oh, is it worth going and getting the flowers? Especially when I call a store and they say, well, we don't have many, we only have about 13 waiting for you. And then I say, is it really worth driving for 13? And then I think of the 13 people that will be receiving the flowers at a senior apartment building or waiting at a bus stop. And then I know that's why I do it, because it makes me feel good and it makes other people feel good. Some of the places where you can find flowers are the specialty markets like Wegmans, Trader Joe's, the big box stores, some of the Home Depot, Lowe's types of stores that have garden centers, floral wholesalers, floral distributors, growers, just anywhere that you see that they're selling flowers. Go and ask them what they do for the flowers. I would recommend that you have a business card or a brochure. Tell people that you're legit. Most of the big stores will require that you're a 501c3 nonprofit. So if you are not, then go back to your church or your scout troop or an organization that does have that status and ask if you can be an outreach of their nonprofit. I would also talk to you about going to funeral homes. And even though you think all the flowers go to the memorial, the grave afterwards, a lot of cemeteries do not permit flowers. So you could ask a funeral director if flowers are going to be thrown away, if he could text you or give you a call, he or she, and you would pick them up and you would take them home, put them in vases, rearrange them, and then just go out and flower sunshine wherever you think people need the flowers. I take them to shelters, hospices, nursing homes, to people on the street, retirement centers, senior centers, doctors' offices. There are just so many places where people need flowers, and you're the bearer of happiness when you bring in beautiful floral bouquets. Actually, when I started doing the project in May of 2013, a lot of people came to me and said they wanted to start a project in their community. And I spent a lot of time guiding people, telling people how to do it, people all over the country. And I finally thought, well, the best thing I can do to serve the people that really want this information is to write everything in a guidebook. So the first book I wrote was called The Happy Flower Day Project: Why and How I Brought 28,000 Beautiful Bouquets to Brighten the Days for Other People. And that's available on Amazon. But that's when I only had given away 28,000. Now it's close to 70,000. So I wrote a second book called Start Your Own Happy Flower Day Project in Your Community. And in that book are a lot of the frequently asked questions, lots of pictures, and both books will help people get off to a good start. I guess the one that I would prefer that people take a look at is one that's called Start Your Own Happy Flower Day Project in Your Community. You wouldn't be able to use the name Happy Flower Day. You want to think of a name that suits you, because that name would be proprietary to me. You couldn't Google other flower sharing companies and use their name. That's against the law. So before you use any name, really be sure that it's unique to you and no one else is using the name for their project. The benefits to starting a free flower sharing program are, first of all, what it does for you as an individual. Every morning at 7:30, I call 5 stores They don't all have them, maybe one or two. And I feel so good starting my day with beautiful flowers. I have a volunteer, Ella. She's 95. She loves to go along with me. So it's a wonderful outing. She has a purpose. I have a purpose. So that's what it does for us. For the people that receive the flowers that are sick or elderly or sad or confused or lonely, it's a great pick-me-up for them. The benefit to the stores is if we didn't pick up the flowers, they would go to waste. And what that means is that they would have to throw them out and they would have to pay for a waste company to pick them up, and that's expensive for the store. So win-win-win. We're happy, the people who receive them are happy, and the stores are happy that the flowers are going for a good cause.